Trade went down, and Cash talked about a number of topics, including trying to acquire Juan Soto.
Juan Soto has been mentioned quite a bit. He was in the Bronx with the Padres playing. What makes him such a dynamic player, a game changer?
I mean, obviously, he's an impact bat, one of the best hitters in the game, and clearly calling card from the left side, which is an area of need for us. So, in that batter's box, he's a difference maker. So he certainly would look good in anybody's uniform, and I know the Padres are currently very happy to have him. So, again, we'll see what happens. He's another team's player right now, so there's not much I can say about it other than the fact that we are knocking on all doors to see what can shake out.
Aaron Boone met with the media earlier today, and he said that he had talked with Yamamoto, and he'd looked pretty good in pinstripes. When you talk about a potential international signing, how does that change your approach, if at all, when considering it?
Well, obviously, it's harder to recruit from afar now that he's been posted. Obviously, he's going to have a chance to navigate this. We've prepared for that with the international players, especially. So, we will be putting our best foot forward there in that category as well. It's not our first player that we've had to try to secure coming from Japan, Tanaka being the last, and we've had some great ones, whether it's Matsui, whether it was a trade with Suzuki. Some of the greatest ones from over there have played, and Hiroki Kuroda was a special Yankee too. So we're prepared, we're buttoned up for that, but that's going to be on his time frame, his decision making, how he wants to go through it. Does he want to visit certain sites? Is he going to have the teams specifically just come and meet with him in a location? Again, he will set that dance tune, and we will all dance to it. But I've seen him in person. He's a hell of a pitcher, and he's going to have a great career here in the States.
The Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. You called this last season a disaster. Are you feeling more pressure this offseason to improve this team? And do you at all feel like you're on the hot seat?
I think that comes with the territory, right? Whether you're the GM of the Yankees or if you're, ownership of the Yankees, manager of the Yankees, you know that the expectations here are unlike anywhere else. People expect you, our fan base, deserves a winner, and they expect obviously a championship contending club that eventually can deliver a championship. So, there's some, time on that clock that's expiring there, and so hopefully we can find a way to push through to find the finishing off pieces. That's always our goal, and that's always our effort. And, the Steinbrenner family is always there trying to make sure that can happen for this fan base.
You mentioned the fan base. They were frustrated clearly after last season. They were expecting maybe some major changes. It doesn't seem like within the organization there have been really any major changes. Do you expect anything to kind of change within?
I think we got a lot of good people. I think we've got, as I said this in Scottsdale, I think we have a lot of great people. We're always evaluating how we go about our business. When you go through your decision-making process, you're not going to nail every one of them, but that doesn't mean, as you're walking through it, I think you need to evaluate all those things in real time, but you could actually have a decision you make that didn't work out, but the process actually was the right one, and it was the right call to try to make. So we are looking at it constantly, but that's not different this year than others, but the noise around it's different because we didn't win enough games. We didn't make the playoffs for the first time in a while, and because that's created a lot of angst, and I understand that. So I don't have anything more to add.
In evaluating that process, is there anything that you would do differently? Just with the obviously
win more games, have healthier players, have the performance levels you would have expected from that, and if not, just regroup and try again.
Look, clearly there were a lot of injuries last year that played a role. One thing you had mentioned in Scottsdale as well was Giancarlo Stanton and how he has struggled to stay healthy the last few seasons. His agent came out and said some things. Have you spoken with Stanton since then?
I talked to G, I talked to Joe Wolf, the agent, and I feel like that was more of a media storm that got created into a story that wasn't a story, and that's part of living in the fishbowl in New York, and because the comments I made were like kind of nice and not nice. They're quiet during an hour interview in Scottsdale. I think it was a week earlier, and even the person who wrote the article a week later was surprised how they spun it out of control into something it wasn't. And so because of that, it's like anything else. It's like a nice, you got a big dust up and you got to explain it. So I took the time to make sure that Big G, who we respect a lot and we count on a lot, as well as agent Joel Wolf, who obviously is a dear friend, understood it from me rather than what they were seeing on a little clip or somebody's opinion on it like a week later when they started running through those iterations.
We've seen what Giancarlo Stanton is capable of in the past, but he clearly struggled offensively last year. What do you think he needs to do to get back to his old self?
You know, I know he's working hard at it. You know, he's committed. I know we got a new hitting coach in James Rowson. So like anything else, once the winter hits and before spring training starts, when that, you know, practice gates open, you know, in mid-February, it's a rebirth for everybody and a restart for everybody. And you know, anybody coming off of an injury situation or poor season that you're not used to, you have a chance to put it all in the past, turn the page, and you know, obviously take a whole new look on life and feel better about it and start afresh and start anew. And so that's obviously what he's going to do. He's working his tail off, and he is committed like he always has been. You know, the truth of the matter is he's always committed that way. But yeah, we certainly expect, you know, to see the G we're used to seeing, you know, which is one of the more prolific right-handed hitters in the game.
You mentioned James Rowson. What made him the right man for the job, for the hitting coach job?
I mean, we went through an interview process. We knew James. We've had him here before, so I've had James work for me in years gone by. His connectability is off the charts. We never let James go. We lost James because he had an opportunity to be, you know, in higher positions elsewhere. And so since that time, he's certainly been a hitting coach, a major league hitting coach in Chicago with the Cubs, in Minnesota with the Twins, then a bench coach in Miami for our dear friend Don Mattingly. And so he's got a wealth of experience and knowledge he's already built upon, and now he was one of the assistant hitting coaches in Detroit. So the one we had back then, James Rowson, we loved, and now we have a new, even better version of the James Rowson because of the experience levels he's walked through since we lost him. So anyway, we feel comfortable with that choice, and we look forward to him, you know, getting us back on track.
Do you expect any more additions to the staff?
We'll see. You know, we're talking through whether it's whether you want three-man hitting guys or two-man hitting group. We'll see. You know, we've had three the last 2 years. So how that shakes out, we'll have to wait and see. You know, we're dealing with James on that still.
Well, it's been 10 minutes and you haven't been able to check your phone, and I know that's probably
it's been buzzing, actually,
driving you crazy. So you can either check it now or I can send it back to Bob.
Send it back to Bob.
Back
to you,
Cash.
Bob.
Brian, thank you for the toss.